I want to call the Committee of the Whole to order. Roll call.
Tim Sharota,
Here.
Peter Harvey,
Here.
Gary Payson Jr.,
Here.
Ron Dunwoody,
Here.
Scott McClory,
Here.
Ken Meinel is absent, and Kurt Harkness is absent.
Okay. All right, we're going to do interviews of firms that submitted proposals for building inspection services in response to the city's RFP, Wisconsin Building Inspections, LLP, which will be at 5:30 p.m. And then at 5:45 p.m. will be general engineering. We're going to adjourn into closed session. Closed session, the Committee of the Whole may entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute Section 19.851E in order to conduct specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require. The Committee of the Whole may also entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to 1985-1F to consider financial, medical, social, or personal histories of specific persons, which, if discussed in public, would likely be to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data or involved in such problems or investigations.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order. The interviews would be an open session first. It's item 2A and B. I'm sorry, 3A and B. And then you'd go into closed session to discuss.
Oh, we're doing these in open?
Yes.
Oh.
You certainly, I'm not sure of the format of the interviews, but you could certainly ask whoever is not the candidate being interviewed at the time, you could ask them if they would be willing to leave the galley area in an effort to have fair competition. That would be appropriate,
Okay.
but the way the agenda is set up, those are happening in,
Public.
in public.
Okay.
That's what we did last
Did
time.
we do it that way last time? Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's the same agenda as last time. We just
Yeah.
put in
Change the
different
names.
names,
Okay. And the only, I take it Wisconsin Building Inspections is here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will be asking all the questions, and then you guys can take notes, because I have to ask the same questions that I asked the last time. Do you have a copy of the ones from the last time? How far did we get?
We got through all of them.
We did get through them all. Okay. Okay. What distinguishes your firm from other building inspection companies?
Well, we're comprised of plumbers, master electricians, master builders. We've been in the trades for a minimum of 15 years. All of our guys have come from the private sector, have substantial experience in the private sector, and then over the last, I've been in this business for 26 years in Wisconsin Building Inspections. Jared is my business partner. He's been in it for 14 years. I think the main thing is it's a partnership, so it's ownership. So every one of us owns a distinct part of our company. So we want to make sure that we're always successful. Everybody has a stake interest in it.
Okay. How many inspectors are on staff in this region? And would one building inspector be assigned, or would there be multiple individuals?
Well, we have several inspectors in the area in Walworth County. We've got 4 inspectors in Walworth County, or 3 inspectors, I'm sorry. We'd always have one primary inspector in each community, but we have typically 2 to 3 inspectors in the area. We all work together. In the field, we'd have 3 guys, and we do our inspections every day. There's some firms that only, say that we're here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and that's when they're here. We service the area every single day.
What are some qualities that make a building inspector successful?
Well, one of the things about a building inspector is you're always telling someone something they don't want to hear. So you're kind of questioning whether they're doing the right job. And I think that's the main thing, is how you're going to relate to people, how you can help them. And we pride ourselves in being able to help all of the residents in all of our communities, as well as our contractors. Because I think, generally speaking, all the contractors want to do everything right. They want to make sure that they know the codes. They want to, but they need a helping hand once in a while to make sure that they're on the right track. We really pride ourselves in the fact that they can call us and they're going to reach us and talk to us every single day. They need to talk to us, and we can walk through things, tell them what they need to do if they're stuck on a job. Same thing with the residents. I mean, right now, a lot of people they do it themselves and they want to save some money, so they have a lot of questions, and it's really our obligation to get back to them to make sure that we can resolve those issues and help them move forward. From the point of inception of the permit till we issue the permit until we close out the permit. So it's permitting, where you help everybody, then in the field, on the phone. So I think that's one of the main focuses that we as a group really adhere to.
Okay. What is your response time to residents, and how does that process work?
Well, if we get a, generally speaking, we do for requests for inspections, they'll call us directly. In this particular case, if Jared will be the primary, he'll get a phone call for an inspection, and he'll respond. Typically, that day, we will get rid of all of our phone calls, talk to everybody, respond to everybody, and then we'll set up, if it's an inspection, we'll set it up at their convenience. Typically, you need approximately 24 hours of lead time notice before we can get to it. That's not always the case. Sometimes we're in the area. That's one of the most convenient things. If we're in the area and someone calls for an inspection, we can do that inspection in a short period of time because we may be a mile away from where the inspection is.
Yeah, so we field our phone calls all day long, and I'll return calls and schedule all day, so try to be efficient.
Okay.
Help everybody.
Okay. Has your firm been the subject of litigation within the past 5 years due to dissatisfaction from a municipality about your services or alleged mistakes by your building inspectors?
We have not.
How does your inspectors deal with companies or individuals who disagree with building inspection decision?
Well, therein lies the first answer. You always have to be upfront with people. You can show them the code. If they're questioning the code, you can show them the code. You can, if they're not satisfied with my answer or Jared's answer, we'll give them the number to the state lead inspector, so they can go over it if they're not satisfied that we know the proper procedure or the proper code section. There's other avenues that they can take to confirm that we are correct. Again, the most important thing is how you treat somebody on the job site. That's huge for inspectors, because a lot of people are nervous with inspectors. But that's not how it should be. They should view us as someone who's going to help them through a problem and help them get through the other side.
There to protect them and the homeowners and everybody else, so that's our goal.
How do you promote communication with city leaders and staff?
Well, we constantly have conversations with our lead administrators, our DPW directors, our assessors. We do have conversations quite frequently with everybody. In some of our communities, I know you have your own in-house zoning, but in some of our communities, we deal with engineering firms that do the zoning. There are planners and our zoning administrators. And we constantly, I talk with my zoning administrator probably 2 to 3 times a week, just to make sure that all those projects go through. And I know we got a handle on where the project's at. If there's anything that needs to be brought forth to move the zoning forward. And our administrators I usually talk to our administrators once or twice a week too, just to see if there's any issues or something coming up, different developments coming up, different problems, questions, concerns. So you have to be constantly talking, and I think that's one of the assets that we have too. We always want to make sure that we have an open dialogue with with everybody from the administrator to the planner, to the zoning administrator, to the DPW. It takes an effort to just converse.
Okay. Do you have any experience helping a client improve customer service and innovation in building inspection services?
Well, I think that's an ongoing thing, because in building inspection services, we're getting into the point of more access to online applications, particularly in the mechanical. So I'm going to be honest with you. Some of our municipalities have tried to do building inspection online applications. It's a little bit harder, wouldn't you say?
I agree.
Because of the fact that sometimes things will trickle in. So if you need, an application for zoning or an application for building, you need some heat calcs, or you need engineering, it all trickles in, and you just can't get a handle on it. It doesn't seem to work as well as one would presume it would. It's an ongoing process, I think, for a lot of the communities. But as far as the online applications for mechanicals, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, that can work out pretty decent.
A lot of us handle our inspection daily logs on computers, and so we're involved with computers all the time. So I'm in a municipality where I have to log a lot of my inspections online through their services. So we're open to, a lot of different ideas, or
We're always,
as technology changes, or make
yes,
things run efficient.
sorry. Yeah, so we are always looking to make some changes. In one of our communities, they did some online mechanicals, and the administrative office, everything was broken down for new construction, new single-family dwellings, into an individual grouping. So the internal staff would file every single grouping, every single permit. They log everything. Most of our permits are done for new houses, remodeling, new construction. We do it by a square footage basis. So we're not going out to a job and counting fixtures. We're going out to that job specifically for the intent of inspecting to make sure that everything's code compliant.
Okay, that's all the questions that we have. Thank you for your time. Okay.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Why don't you say something? I have one.
Sorry.
I already messed up anyway. Elaine had me slap me around. Just reach across and whack.
That's why it's sometimes harder to run a meeting, and so you gotta have us. We're just helper. We're
Yep.
just a helper.
Just keep me in mind. Lacey could have thrown something at me.
Well, I thought he was just giving them, a heads up. This is what's gonna happen next.
Well, that's what I kind of thought at first, and I was like, no, he's going
Oh.
through. I did
Oh, you
kind of
thought-
think that first, and I was like, oh, wait a second, no, we
No,
haven't
he's
done
not.
this part.
He was going, the one thing I was remembering was roll call.
Right. Yes.
Do you want any water, or?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
No, can't get rid of it.
Okay, so this is general engineering. Okay. Okay, I will be asking all your questions. Okay? Asking the questions, that is. Okay. What distinguishes your firm from other building inspection companies?
I think probably the primary is the scope and the depth of knowledge that we have. We have, I think in the proposal had written, we have on-staff structural engineers, civil engineers, our inspectors. We have people that are strictly commercial electric. We have master plumbers. So if, unlike someone who has to have all the certs or a couple of people, they're very intelligent, and they've got their, what I want to say, their experiences. But, cumulatively, I don't think that anybody can compare to the literally hundreds of years of experience that we have.
How many inspectors are on staff in this region, and would one building inspector be assigned, or would there be multiple individuals?
They would likely, you would have one, like I said, first part, directly in Elkhorn, currently none. Our closest city and client is City of Milton, and there we have one primary. He has an assistant, and then we have a couple of other people, like I said, for the specialty. Like currently, they have a big commercial project going on, so we have people rotate in for that as needed. And that would same here. All of our communities have a primary, so that's the primary point of contact. They would typically do the day-to-day, and then they would be assisted by others as needed.
Okay. What are some qualities that make a building inspector successful?
I think generally they have to be inquisitive, independent. They have to be knowledgeable, not just of the code. There's people that are extremely knowledgeable of the code, but that's about all they know. So I think for an inspector to be truly successful, they have to actually have field experience and knowledge on the site as well, which our inspectors typically do. The vast majority of them come from the trades.
Okay. What is your response time to residents, and how does that process work?
Response time varies, but statutorily you have 48 hours, but normally it's less than that. It's if you call for an inspection this morning, if we're in the city, you would likely get it today. But if we're not in the city that day, or if we have a full slate that day, you may have to wait till the next day. But typically it's the next day as far as inspections. Now, permitting, that again varies. A lot of people want to know how fast you're going to get the permit out. We can do on our end. We get them in, we get them out as quickly as possible because you just don't want them to back up. But it's always mostly dependent on the information that you get from the applicant. Sometimes there's a little bit of a hill trying to get them to provide all the additional information or, explain to them what's needed.
Has your firm been the subject of litigation within the past 5 years due to dissatisfaction from the municipality about your services or alleged mistakes by your building inspectors?
No.
How do your inspectors deal with companies or individuals who disagree with a building inspection decision?
That can be tricky depending on the applicant, but typically, our guys are trained. They explain it, what the violation is, explain it to them, in a multitude of ways. And if that doesn't work, then they typically send them to me. Or if I'm not available, Adam Meyer is typically the other person. We try to educate as much as anything, and that's actually just being the code person out there is kind of a small part. It's the education portion that's bigger.
Okay. How do you promote communication with city leaders and staff?
City leaders and staff, we always have an open line of communication. I attend quite a few meetings. We do, email. There's always, like I said, an open line of communication, phone numbers, emails. If I'm not available, we have our main office, and there's always somebody there. I have a staff of 4 people primarily that I work with on a daily, and they're always available to answer questions, be it for, invoicing, code questions, whom to get a hold of.
Okay. Do you have any experience helping a client improve customer service and innovation in building inspection services?
We do. Yep. We actually have been, we've spent a lot of time and effort putting together the online permitting process. You know, if communities have questions, you know, how they can streamline, you know, their process, we'll sit down with them and assist them with that. We also have it's a file maker system, which we use. So in addition to like online permitting, it has built into it several components. It's actually a pretty robust system that we built over the course of years. So there's the permitting aspect of it. So if you were to give me a permit, we do the review, we put in all that information into the FileMaker system. So it's always there for records retention. You know, it's nice for public records requests, which you get, it goes in spurts, so you get varying degrees of that. But one nice component of it is the community access. So if there's a question, you know, whomever your staff would be the most involved in the inspection department portion, if they want to look up, if somebody just, they can obviously call the inspector, but if they'd rather, they can look up, you know, 1, 2, 3 Blue Birdie Lane, somebody calls and says, I think my neighbor's doing work, I don't think there's any permit. They can simply go in there, look it up, and say, nope, there's a permit issued. You know, they must just not have it posted. Then they tell the inspector, and he can tell the people who post their permit.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. Sure. Okay.
That's all I have.
That's it. That's it.
So now I'm
Pretty painless. So now I need to go read all this, right?
There you go, Gary.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to adjourn into closed session. Closed session, the committee of the whole may entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute Section 1985 1E in order to conduct specified public business. Whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require, the committee of the whole may also entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to 1985 1F to consider financial, medical, social, or personal histories of specific persons, which, if discussed in public, would be likely to have substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data or involved in such problems or investigations. We will be reviewing and discussing proposals for building inspection services. Can I get a roll call or I need a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make the motion to adjourn into closed session.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Peter Harvey.
Yes.
Gary Payson Jr.,
Yes.
Scott McClory.
Yes. Okay, we'll go into closed session and we will reconvene into open session for possible action on closed items. The committee of the whole shall reconvene in open session, reserving the right to take action on the matters discussed in closed session and to move to the remaining meeting agendas as posted.
Okay, we've reconvened in open session.
Okay.
It's 6:08 PM.
Okay, we reconvene in open session for possible action on closed session items. The committee of the whole shall reconvene into open session, reserving the right to take action on the matters discussed in closed session and move to the remaining meeting agenda items as posted. Discussion and possible decision regarding proposal for building inspection services. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion that for city staff to commence negotiations with Wisconsin Building Inspections LLP for possible action.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Ron Dunwoody,
Yes.
Peter Harvey,
Yes.
Scott McClory.
Yes.
Gary Payson Jr.
Yes. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are now adjourned. Thank you.